All right, and welcome to Real Talk with Real Metalheads. I'm your
Indeed.
I'm your host, the Metal God, and alongside with me is the one, the only.
Me. uh, Metal Maniac 40, as they call me. And some
All
people call
right,
me a dickhead for some reason. I don't know why. But
yeah, I
yeah.
get that. Yeah, I get that a lot too. Well, that every other countless thing. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Real Talk. Now, for those of you who've never heard Real Talk before, well, we did one other episode before this. This is episode number 2. And for those of you who don't know, we talk about real world topics and we give our opinions on these topics. Now these topics can range from stuff that's going on in the news, stuff that's going on around the world. We talk about different stuff, not just stuff, that just goes on just in the US or Japan or the UK or whatever. It doesn't matter. We will talk about stuff that's going on wherever.
Worldwide, basically. Anything. As long as we understand the subject and we know what's going on properly, then we'll talk about it. But if it's something that I don't understand, then I'll have to look into it or something. But we make sure we know what's going on and then we talk about it. And like the Metal God said, we'll give our honest opinion on how we think about the situation or the incident, and then yeah, we go from there. So, what are we talking about today, then?
All right, well, our first topic today has to deal with your neck of the woods there. Anyways, this topic has to deal with the UK banning rape porn.
Yeah, this is an annoying thing with the porn situation at the moment. I mean, people keep saying about how they're gonna ban all porn soon and ban all sorts of things, and yeah, this thing that I heard about the other day about the 3 years for people who watch the rape porn is a bit extreme, because let's think about how many songs that we listen to that you know basically portray really bad things. Like, let's look at Cannibal Corpse's lyrics. It's the same as
Yeah,
this. It's like an idea put into a video, or as for Cannibal Corpse, into a song. It doesn't mean
yeah,
it's really going on. It's basically just something that they've created. It's imagination. It can happen, yes, but this isn't actually happening. It's actors that are starring in a video for someone who likes that stuff. Why should they,
exactly.
if they're not going out there and committing these crimes, why should they have to actually, well, why should they be punished for it if that's what they're into? It's not exactly like they're gonna do that. It's maybe, like, I listen to Cannibal Corpse, as and the lyrics I find funny. I like the lyrics, but I know
Yeah.
full well it's really bad if it happened in real life. I wouldn't want to, think about
Well,
someone.
plus,
Yeah,
lots of songs have to deal with like zombies and stuff. So, I mean, unless of course the zombie apocalypse happens,
no,
you know.
I mean,
But
like Cannibal
I get what you're
Corpse's
talking
lyrics,
about,
like,
it's like songs like fuck with a knife,"
yeah, and
that is talking
necropedophile
about
and stuff
rape.
like that. It's
Yeah,
extreme stuff, but I'm not agreeing with that because I know it's
yeah,
bad. Same with that. Maybe they don't agree with it, but they like it. I like Cannibal Corpse, but I don't agree
yeah.
with it if it was to happen in real life.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm not, I don't watch rape porn. I think maybe I've seen like I do believe I've seen a few here or there, but it doesn't get my rocks off. It doesn't do anything for me. It's like okay, it's bad, whatever. But I mean, to each his own. It's not illegal to set up a camera and depict some scene of something of a fantasy that somebody has. Now, yes, some people do fantasize about getting raped or raping somebody. Maybe that's part of their fantasy, but them watching this stuff happening on video that may that may make them not want to do it. They may get their rocks off, watching it, and they go, "Oh, okay." They don't do it because studies have shown, like, that actually porn helped decrease, not increase, porn. When porn started really coming out, it actually decreased the amount of rapes that were happening in the real world.
Exactly,
So
because some people didn't know how to get rid of that sexual tension, and they thought, because back then when they didn't have it, they thought, "How am I going to get rid of it? I can't control my urges." Because some people are really sexually, active, and they can't, because people function differently, and that's how they would have got it out. But obviously, with like you says, being able to get access to this sort of stuff, people think I can just load up some whatever they're into and get my, you know, sexual tension, out through that. So, that's it's a big help with loads of things. And I don't understand why they, like you says, they'd want to get rid of it when it's decreased bad, things that people
yeah,
do. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. Like like it's not illegal to like set up a camera, have a depict a scene, you know, of if you want it to be rape, then be rape. Now, or whatever the hell you want to, whatever the hell you're into, she-males, you know. I mean, hell, there's there's guys that are like do gay porno, but yet they're not gay. They just
Yeah,
do
it's
it for
acting.
money.
It's
Exactly. It's acting. It's not something I would do personally, but hey, to each his own. I mean, if that's the best they want to do, then so be it. But
it's like in
what?
movies, like when people play a gay character, don't mean they're gay. Or if people do a certain thing on a movie, there are loads of movies with really bad things on.
Yeah,
You know
and then
that.
you have movies. You also have the actual like Hollywood like blockbuster films that have to deal with rape or something like that. A good one that comes to my mind, and it's a really good movie. It's called a 8 millimeter with Nicolas Cage. It's supposed to be about a snuff film. Which basically, for those of you who don't know what snuff is, it's basically supposed to be a depiction on video of somebody being raped, and then somebody or some type of sexual act happening, and then they die at the end. And then it's displayed for everybody to see. It's sold for money. Sorry, but yeah, supposedly snuff films actually don't exist. There's been a couple that have been close, and there's been a couple of movies that are pretty damn close to actually being a snuff film, like such as there's a Japanese film called Guinea Pig 2.
Guinea Pig 2.
Something the something of flower. I forgot the name, but it's fucking brutal. It's a brutal film. He's basically in there dissecting this chick that he caught from the street, and it's very realistic looking, very realistic sound effects. There's no CGI in it. So I mean, would that technically be fall under, because it's not technically porn. There's no actual porn in there other than there is a naked woman in there. you know but it makes me wonder, like they say, okay, no rape porn, right? But what about actual movies? I mean, what are they gonna ban those? What about songs that have rape in it? What about music videos? I mean, where do they draw the line? They're making this, like, I know it's just rape porn, but okay, starts with rape porn, but what's next? Something else they don't agree with,
At the
like,
prime
oh,
of everything else. I do have to say that there is a 10-minute limit on each part on this recording device that I'm using, so we'll have to stop here and then carry on the
yeah.
discussion on the next one. Right, so we're back. Sorry about that if it's inconvenienced you. Carry on, what was you saying?
All right, basically it's like, well, where do they draw the line at? There's like, they start with this, and what is it going to end up to? Just two people in missionary positioning and some guy going, almost, almost,
Yeah,
almost,
like
and
that scene of
done.
Family Guy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's awful.
It's What is it going to come down to?
It's
I
like
mean,
we're
they're like,
going
oh,
back.
we don't agree with your lifestyle choice of being gay, quote unquote lifestyle choice of
Not a
being gay.
lifestyle
So
choice. It's a
we're gonna ban gay porn, and then we're gonna ban. Oh, we don't like this stuff going on here. We got to ban this, and we got to ban that, and where's it gonna stop? I know, yes, rape's bad and stuff like that. Yes, and I don't agree with it. And as I said, it doesn't do it for me. It's not my thing. But if it's somebody else's thing, hey, go forward. I mean, I dated a chick once, and one of her fantasies was to be raped. Now, yes, I didn't do it. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Hey, but each person's own. I mean, you know,
yeah, I know what you mean. It's just ridiculous how we lose like our liberties every day, and it's getting even more ridiculous. And it's meant to be what 2014 soon. We're coming up to 2014, and we're still. It's like we're going back to the past. We're meant to be going ahead, to the future, not going back to the past. And
exactly.
you know,
It's ridiculous. Like you said, it's already 2013, almost 2014 right now as we speak, and like literally like a month and like weeks. It's like weeks away from being 2014. What are we doing as a society
just
to
making
basically
everything harder for everyone and depriving people on what their rights are. And we claim that we're meant to be a country of freedom and freedom of speech as well, but we're not allowed any of that according to it, and it just doesn't make sense. It's like a paradox. It's a contradicting mess. It just doesn't make sense.
I know it's there's sick people out there in the world, and yes, there's gonna be some sick people, and I'm pretty sure maybe some of the rape porn that was out there that some people have, maybe it is the real deal, like it's not a made by an actual porno company, or it's not an amateur, whatever. I'm pretty sure there's probably some, but it's probably a very, very, very small amount in comparison with the actual, Hollywood, made, or amateur made or whatever, but stuff that's not realistic. I mean, seriously, I mean, are they're gonna have to ban like a lot of Japanese porn? I mean, tentacle rape porn. I mean, is that gonna
Oh,
be
I've heard about that. That
okay?
stuff's messed up, isn't it?
Is that gonna be okay? I mean, really, I mean, where are they gonna draw the line? I mean, there's some Japanese, porns that that have to deal with rape. And what about S&M? What about that? I mean, that's bondage. It's not technically rape, but it's bondage, and it could be construed as being rape porn. You could just have just S&M. That might be your thing, So I don't get where they're gonna draw the line on this stuff at, you know. But like I said, of course they're probably going to say, "Oh, I'm doing this for the children. I'm doing this for the children." Da, 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 da.
Children shouldn't be watching that stuff anyway. It should be. See, this is what they should do, and you shouldn't have to blame anyone but the parents or whoever owns the computer that the child gets onto. The child shouldn't be looking at that stuff anyway. None of it's meant for them, but you blame the parents or the legal guardian
They
of
sh-
the
they
child.
shouldn't- if they don't want their children looking at this stuff, they should install filters. They should install something to block them from watching whatever on there, whatever you deem is offensive. If you as a parent deem to say, oh, all pornography is bad, you as a parent wants to do that, you don't want your child seeing it, that's fine. Install filters. Don't basically hinder everybody else's what they like to do. Like I said, I don't like rape porn, but it's still out there, and I don't think it should be banned at all.
And
You
that's
know,
the thing. It's like if people like us who don't even watch it and don't have any interest in it whatsoever are speaking out about it, then it just goes to show, doesn't it? It just says basically that it doesn't matter. Like another thing as well, I am not gay, but you know, I'm against a lot of things that, you know, say, well, especially religion, about gays being like mentally fucked up or there's something wrong about them because of it.
Yeah, that
You
was
know,
he
it's just
considered in the past. That was actually considered like a, a mental a disease. You know, in the
exactly,
past.
and it's just not a nice thing for, like I says, if this is a country about freedom, then no matter what you agree or disagree with, you know, you should live up to what you talk about. If I'm talking about I want my country to have freedom, who am I to say rape porn? You know, agreeing with that and saying, oh, it should be, you know, it should be banned just because I disagree on it. No, I'm willing to talk about anything, and even if I don't agree with it, if as long as it's not affecting me, because it doesn't affect me, because I don't have to type in rape porn on there. You know, I'm not obligated to look it up or anything. No one is. It's the people that want to look at it that can go on it and do whatever. It doesn't affect me, but I'm still willing to talk about it because it's not fair on the people. And you know, another thing, and this is what my brother says. It's like Hitler back then. There was no movies or any ideas to encourage Hitler to go out and start the Holocaust, kill all the Jews, do all these terrible things. So, you know, it's the same thing with this. It's like no one's, you know, giving you ideas to do these things, and people want to look at it and they have no problem with it. It's not like you says, it's decreased it, hasn't it? So,
Yeah, it's decreased since pornography really came about. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's before the 70s, but around the 70s is where it really started to flourish and really started to come out. And you had Playboy, which that's not really is done tastefully, very tastefully. But then you had someone like Hustler, you had that come along. That just changed everything. They tried to take him to court for obscenities and blah 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 blah. Very good movie to watch. The People versus Larry Flint. Very good movie to watch. And it's a very good movie. And they basically tried suing him for like obscenity and blah 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 whatever. And now the porn industry, now if you got a camera, you can make your own. I mean,
exactly. I mean,
this
they're
the stuff
allowed
the
to.
stuff you could do now is like crazy. You can make your own Hollywood blockbuster film in your own for your own money.
Well, people these days join sites and they get membership for uploading videos if they get certain views. So they upload, let's say, a home video of them doing whatever. They upload it and they get a certain amount of money depending on the views that they get. Because
Yeah,
obviously, the more people that visit the site gets money off, and they give a certain percentage to the person who's helping them get the money. And
yeah,
because obviously it's like a community, isn't it? Everyone's working for each other. The people
yeah,
on there that upload it, they're working with the people on the site who've created it, helping them, and the people who view it help everyone else out. So we're all kind of like a community here, helping each
yeah.
other out. And yeah, it's stuff like that. That's how people do it. But we're coming up to the second
Yep.
part of 10
Yeah,
minutes.
so let's move on to the next topic we got for you
Yeah,
guys.
let's
And it has
move
to
on to
go
the
now.
next topic.
Okay. All right, and we're moving on to this next topic of talking about this is pretty fairly new news, like we just found about this a few days ago, if that. Well, of course, when you watch this video, you might want to look at the upload because it'll be like, well, I watch it maybe a month from now, maybe 10 months from now, maybe 2 years. I don't know, but anyways, just look at the date. You may be like, this didn't just happen. All right. Anyways, this is for I the guy's name is Ian, whatever. I always say Ian. Ian Watkins of the band Lost Prophets. Now, for those of you guys who don't know about the band Lost Prophets, they basically were kind of a new metal-ish kind of band. They basically started getting popular. They had one popular song. Basically when new metal was pretty much on its way out the door, they just got in at the right time, basically I guess kind of almost similar maybe to like something like a Linkin Park or whatnot. But anyways, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the vocalist. um Watkins, he has pled guilty to raping or attempting to rape a baby.
Well,
What the
I
fuck?
well,
uh,
this is kind of on the lines of the last topic we're talking about. Again, it's rape. But what I gotta say is, what possesses someone to make them think that this is a good thing to do? How can you sit there and contemplate on doing such a thing? Like, what makes someone even have a thought like that in the first place? You know,
There's
let's
something wrong with them. Something wrong with them mentally. No,
obviously
seriously.
it's a psychological problem, but
Yeah, psychological problem, but you know, that shouldn't, be a factor. He should go to jail. I don't give a fuck. His ass needs to go to fucking jail and
I
lock
think
away.
worse than that. I think he needs to suffer severe torture to the highest degree, because
Oh,
let's think
he,
about this.
he will. He will in prison because anybody who knows anything about prison will tell you you do not go in there with any kind of rape charges or stuff like that. Just raping a woman alone, you'll be lucky if you make it out alive. If something like this, oh fuck, I don't know how long he's gonna last, but I'm pretty sure the next topic is we're gonna talk about him is he's dead. He's got gutted in prison
I'd love
because I
to
read a
hear that.
story. I read a story about one guy who was basically he was bragging about how he raped these very underage girls. He raped them. He was bragging about it, and then these two guys they made a prison shank, and they literally, no joke, started stabbing him. They pulled out his intestines, his guts, with him still alive. It was basically to send a message to the other people: don't talk about you. Don't be proud of your fucking rape. You better make up some type of story.
How can you just think that that's an accomplishment? It's like, oh, what have you achieved in your life then? Wow, the most, well, what I'm mostly proud of are rapes, like, very underage girls. It's like, what the hell's wrong with you? You know what I mean? It's
But
just,
I'm still wondering how the fuck can he rape a baby? That just boggles my mind to how he can. I don't want to try to even think about this. It's fucking horrible. But anyways, basically talking a little bit about him. Basically, when they found his computer, it was encrypted, in order, like most laptops are, they got the password to get onto it on most computers, whatever. They later discovered his password was in fact I fuck kids. Wow.
why would you even have a password like that? Because let's imagine, oh, I don't know, he's at his mother's or some relative's place, and he's got his laptop and he just leaves it there, and he's got, like, let's say he's his relative goes on it, and they're like, I'm gonna just type in something stupid in the password box right here to see, just to see, and they're like, I know what I'll type in. I thought kids. They type in and they're like, wow, it worked. What the hell's wrong with it? I know I should be laughing, but I'm not laughing at the
Yeah,
thing. I'm laughing at how
yeah,
ridiculous it is,
yeah,
because
yeah, exactly. We're not laughing at that. We're laughing at how ridiculous it is. But anyways, they also found a videotape. Now this is, I guess, a little bit better than raping a baby, but anyways, he had sex on videotape with a 16-year-old fan. Now, 16-year-old, okay, you at least have a mind and you at least can talk, unlike a baby who can't, you know.
you know what's going on, basically. Yeah.
exactly. At least you know what's going on. And anyways, in some places, 16 is legal, so I can't really get mad at that. Even places in the U.S., 16 is legal, such as North Carolina. That's perfectly legal for a 16-year-old to have sex. 15 with parental consent. I'm not saying it's right to have sex with someone who's 16. I know in Norway 16 is legal as well, but I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying at least that's a person that can actually consent to it. A baby can't consent to it.
A baby doesn't even know what's going on. A
Yeah,
baby, think about it, expects love and nurture, and they're like, oh, um, obviously when you look at a baby, this is how babies are meant to be portrayed. You're meant to get the feeling that you want to care for it and be there for it, and you know, feed it, look after it, whatever. You don't get the feeling of wanting to, do it with your whatnot, whatever if he used his genitals or how he used it or however he done this. You don't want to do that to a child, a baby. It's ridiculous. I
yeah.
mean, I just don't understand. I know there's much worse things that people have done, and there's even more messed up things, but
Yeah.
it still boggles me, how people can even have this idea in their head that they want to do that. And well, from what I read, the mother of the child actually was in on it, and she was participating in it as well. She was also doing stuff to the child, and from what I also found out, they were gonna blow crystal meth on the child's face. Like, who the hell even does that? Obviously, this mother, I'm not, because people are gonna say, let's concentrate on the guy from the band because obviously he's famous. But what about this mother? She's even worse, letting this guy do this, and she's doing it as well. And then
Yeah.
she's saying,
They're
"All
actually
right, let's put."
They actually sent him. They actually sent him pictures. She actually sent him pictures of her having oral sex with the baby.
That's
Like,
what I mean. It's like she's worse if you think about it because she's meant to be
yeah,
the
because I
parent.
mean, just he was just planning on doing it. The
She,
mother is far worse because she actually did something. She actually did oral sex to a baby, and then also the police discovered that through webcam chats and whatnot that they were talking about also having sex with animals too.
see,
You know?
bestiality.
So you bestiality
It's one of
and
them things.
pedophilia
Mm.
all in the same thing. I mean, what else do we need to add to this story?
I know it's ridiculous. I mean, like I says, it just baffles me. But we're coming up to 10 minutes again. We're gonna have to stop and then re-discuss this. So
Yeah.
sorry about the inconvenience.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. But yeah, it does
Oh,
annoy
they
me.
scored a hit in 2000 and 2004. No.
It just annoys me though, like how people, especially parents like that, when you bring a child into this world, you're like, people would be like, I'm gonna bring a life into this world so I can care for it, and you know, you don't think
Some
I'm
people
gonna bring
plan
a
on
child into this
plan
world
on
to perform
having
oral sex.
babies into this world just to have sex with them.
Yeah, I know. It's like
Sick.
you have sex to have the baby, but you don't have sex and then have the baby and then have sex with the baby. It's not logical. That's just messed up. Ah, but I'm just wondering, would animals work like us? Would they do their youngin if they, I don't know how animals' minds work, but would they do something like that too? Or
I don't know.
I doubt they would. I doubt they
Yeah.
would because they're more like instinct. They know what they have to do. But us, we can think beyond that. We can imagine anything we wanted to. It's that crazy. So, you know, thinking about it.
Yeah.
But it's the part that got me the most. Just that, how people say, oh, the guy, he's in the wrong and everything, when they're not focusing on the mother though. They're
Yeah.
more concerned about this guy just because he's famous, and that annoys me, because it's like, this is the logic we're using. It's like, oh, let's say, I don't know, Nicki Minaj beat up some fan of theirs, they got in a fight or whatever reason happened, people are on Nicki Minaj all the time about it, and they're like, oh, because she's famous, oh, I feel sorry for her and whatnot. But what about
even if she's in the wrong, or something like that, or say for instance, some other celebrity and person X and Y, but let's just say person celebrity, doesn't do something that bad, but X and Y do something that's far worse. The celebrity will get all the attention.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's one of them things, and that is one thing about society that annoys me, because how are we gonna improve and help the situation if we're focusing on the one that's done least wrong? Let's focus more on the one that's actually responsible of the child, the one that's let the child, be in the company of this guy and done the stuff to the child, as you stated. It's ridiculous. It's just one of them things that really, really pisses me off.
Exactly.
But that's the world we live in today,
Yeah, exactly. Focus on celebrity, even if there were a minor celebrity. Like I seriously, I haven't heard the name Lost Prophets in like it seems like it's been like ages since the last time I've heard the name. And I'm like, and then I see something posted, and I'm like, wait, Lost Prophets? The fuck? The hell are they doing?
Yeah, because they haven't been relevant for years, have they?
It's been in like ages.
I didn't know someone who was a big fan of them. I bet they're devastated about it. I haven't talked to them in ages because I removed them, because they just didn't seem like the sort of person that really wanted a friendship. Just try and build a friendship with them. Talk to them on Facebook a lot, and they're a big fan of Lost Prophets. I'm thinking of just contacting them and saying, did you hear about Lost Prophets? Like, you haven't spoken to me in 2 years, if this is what you're speaking to me now. But yeah, go on, what was she going to say anyway?
Like basically as a society, as in a whole, we just focus on negative aspects to things in the world and so on and so forth. Bad shit's gonna happen. It's just the way it goes. Doesn't matter where in the world you live. This
is the thing. You're never gonna have a perfect society. Look at how everything is. You always get one maniac that is corrupted. So no matter how much you think, because this is how I see the world. It's like it's like a software, and then the software has like an error, that one error, and then like let's say that I'll give an example. Someone who just, and this happens, someone just loses the plot and they go out there with either a gun or whatnot and just shoot people down for no reason. It's just one of them things. Just suddenly there's an error there, and someone just malfunctions and just fucks everyone over for no reason. It's just one of them things. You're never going to have a perfect society. There's always going to be wrong, and there's always going to be injustice. You're never going to get what you want.
Never going to be a perfect society. Anyways, let's move on to the next topic.
Yeah, let's move on to the next topic.
Okay. All right, and now our last topic is, of course, Costco putting fiction on the Bible. And then, of course, this pastor gets completely outraged. Basically what he did is he said he was in there to buy a present for his wife, and he took a picture. He was like, he's just caught off guard because he said the Bible was labeled as fiction in Costco. So he's like, maybe okay, maybe it's just the actual, just maybe just one. But no, he like looked through all of them and they were all labeled fiction. And and he posted to Facebook, and of course he was like, the pastor was like, well, some people are like, they're like, oh, we should boycott Costco, and da 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 da, you know, and really gets, it's what it is, it's fiction. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. It's fiction, but also this is a store. So, and especially being in the United States or, some other parts of the world, where they hold religion as being really high, I really think this is either a really good joke that Costco did, and of course they apologized. Whoever did the book, they did a really good joke. And yes, I do 100% agree that the Bible is fiction, but at the same token, you're it's kind of wrong. As much as I like it, and as much as I was applauding it, Costco, I was like, yeah, way to go, Costco. At the same token, I'm kind of like neutral about it, I guess I can say. But at the same token, if they want to complain about the Bible being fiction, being labeled as fiction, then why do we have Star Wars books labeled as fiction? Now, of course, they say, oh, it's religion, it's religion. Well, there's Star Wars is an actual religion, Jediism, or I don't know exactly what it's called, but I know that it's an actual religion. What about people that are Scientologists, and Dianetics? What we're going to put that as factual? There's nothing provenly factual about the Bible. So why would we label that as fiction, or this? Why just label it as religious, religious section, or put it into even self-help. I would accept that. But like I said, them putting it as fiction, it's what it is. Of course they apologized for it.
See, this is the way I see it is, and I saw this not long ago. I think it was Richard Dawkins. He says that if basically you killed off all religion, none of it existed, killed off all the knowledge of all today's religion, people would probably recreate it and it'll be completely different, or it might not be even like, it might not even be a religion, it might be something else, because it's just like, someone's made it up and they've passed it on, and like I says, no one's going to come up with the exact same idea, are they, again? It's going to be completely different if it was recreated. If something, was to wipe out all of it, what's to say that you'll have, a God created the world, Adam and Eve, Jesus, all this, what's to say that would be, in society, and that people would talk about this? What would it be like if religion, let's say it happened and it recreated? How would society be affected? Because let's think about it. Religion has cost loads of lives, loads of deaths has happened because of it, and if it weren't for religion, a lot of wars wouldn't have started. Let's face it. So let's look at it, and let's have a look at what they've done with the fiction. Like he says, there's no evidence to say that, God in the sky, well, they say he's in the sky, but whoever, there's no evidence to say that he exists. You can say something, doesn't make it a fact. I can say, I shoved a piano up my ass, I managed to do it. It doesn't mean it, just because I said it doesn't mean I've managed to shove a piano up my ass, because it's not physically possible. If I did that, then I would really fuck up. Let's just face it, my body would be fucked if I'd done that. I would do so much damage to myself.
Would basically explode. It's like
Yeah.
it's possible. I don't know. You could if like it was a very miniature. If you were to make that piano very miniature, then do it, then you'd be okay.
Or if I had a massive bum, a
Yeah.
massive, massive bum, I was proper fat, and I just shoved it in there somehow. But it doesn't mean just because I said that it happened doesn't mean, anything, because, you know, that's basically what we're hearing and what we're, taking in from religion is that something, exists, but if it exists and everything, then where the fuck is it? Because let's face it, um, people who study like space, astronomy, who study like space have found all these other planets and all these other things. There's no God
Yeah.
to be found, and how big is it? How big and how much does it expand space? It's massive. There's
Yeah, and
so much.
they're still discovering more and more stuff. But back on the Bible being Mark fiction, I mean, I guarantee you, had like this been done to, I don't know, the Quran or the Book of Mormon, or the whatever, the Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or whatever Bible Jewish people, Judaism, whatever Bible they use, or whatever, or what their book have been labeled fiction. Oh, it wouldn't even been, it wouldn't even been a thing. Now maybe the Quran, maybe if that had got marked fiction, I think that it probably would have been worse, to be honest with you, because the terrorists would have got information. What? Our Quran is marked fiction in America? But three. Okay, that's it. We go to America, we bomb Costco now. Until we take, we got to get our quadratinis first, though.
See,
We have to get them first.
when I heard you say Costco, because I'm not familiar with the place, because I live in the
Yeah.
UK, we have a place where you get coffee from called Costa, which is, quite local. They're kind of like a convenience coffee place. Like you have
Yeah.
one just like in my college, literally. And I thought, is it something to do with that? Because I forgot it was called Costa. So I thought, hang on, why would a coffee store sell Bibles? And another thing about it that confused me is in the UK, I've never seen any Bibles being sold. When I was brought up to be a Jehovah's Witness, you just get the Bibles from the, you know, the place we went. It wasn't called a church. They didn't label it as a church. They were against, as you know, Jehovah's Witnesses are against Christianity. They say Jesus died on a stick, not on a cross. And if I had anything like a cross, anything that was shaped like a crucifix, my mother would kick off. So yeah, I thought, why?
But
How
yeah,
come you can
they are
purchase
sold.
it?
They're sold in stores, stores all over. Yeah, the Bibles, all these different kinds of Bibles, whatever, and even more so if you go into like somewhere like a Barnes and Noble, which deal just with books. I mean, they have CDs in there too, um, but you deal with a bookstore. Yeah, you'll see Bibles in there for sale. You'll see all kinds of Bibles.
Oh,
You
we're
know,
coming up to 10 minutes. Hang on. Carry on. Sorry about that.
right? Yeah, just like I was saying in the States, they sell Bibles, whatever. Here in Japan, I haven't seen a Bible, I don't think, sold out in Japan at all. I don't, what I can recall, like, and I've been to a few bookstores, and I don't recall ever seeing a Bible sold like out in the open.
Another thing about Richard Dawkins, because I'm really interested in Richard Dawkins' like
Yeah,
philosophy, and the way he explains things. And this is a good thing he said. He said we should have Bibles so that they are fiction, because people can read the Bible and they can pick up on the vocabulary and learn a lot of things from the Bible to do
Yeah,
with like English, and you know it's pretty good for that sort of stuff. He said we should have it as like a fictional book. It was funny.
yeah. Like especially like the especially like the Old Testament stuff, and stuff like that. Like especially it says the King James version. I think if I remember correctly, is it King James? I'm not sure. I want to say it's King James, but anyways, there's one that has a lot of very old English text, like a lot of thous and these
And
and the
when they say live, they say liveth and stuff like that.
yeah. Yeah, I do believe it is the new King James version, but I'm not 100% sure. Um, but yeah, I agree with that. It'll definitely expand people's vocabulary, trying to get them to understand, more stuff, more the older English,
I mean,
and
older English is interesting in a way. I mean,
yeah,
my solo project, Thy Blood, people don't use thy these days; they use
yeah,
your. But
yeah,
I find the word to be. I like the sound of the word rather than saying your blood. I'd rather say thy blood. It kind of gives it more,
yeah,
you know. It's
yeah. It
kind of yeah,
sounds more
dark, doesn't it?
fancier,
Yeah, yeah. And
and it sounds more like ancient, and it sounds cool,
like Thy
Yeah.
Art Is Murder, that
Like
band.
I Antichrist,
Oh yeah, Antichrist.
I
And
Antichrist, But yeah, like,
take
actually,
it
I
right
agree with
now.
that. Yeah, and like, not to completely, bash the Bible. I mean, yeah, there's some good stuff in there. As much as I, bash it, and as much as I bash that religion, there's actually some good stuff, and
There's
there's
some
some
good
good
stuff,
stuff
but it's just
amongst,
a paradox. The Bible
yeah,
is a paradox, and the thing is about it is there are some good morals that from it, like um, there is a saying that they say like love thy neighbor and treat
right.
people how you want to be treated, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I do agree with that, and I do think
thou shalt not kill,
yeah,
thou
thou
shalt
shalt
not
not kill.
steal, whatever that stuff. But some people just take it too literal, like
Yeah,
like
people.
especially people that are like always like like especially the people that are like anti gay, like, oh, the Bible says so, the Bible says so, the Bible says so. Well, your Bible says a lot of things,
Yeah, your
you know,
Bible does say a lot of things, to be honest.
but,
A lot of
but
bullshit.
try to bring up, and of course that's in the Old Testament. That's not in the New Testament. But and of course you try to bring up some other stuff from the Old Testament, and be like, oh, that's Old Testament stuff. That's old. That's old. Just do with the new one. Okay, then why are you using Old Testament stuff when it comes to gay and homosexuality and stuff like that? Like, well, and of course, normally most of the time, they don't have an answer. There's people just more just
They usually
cherry
just
pick.
repeat themselves, don't they? They're like, you say something to them, like, I don't know, this and this happened, and then they just go back to, yeah, God, by the way, he loves you, he does. It's like, are you gonna answer my question? It's like, God,
Exactly.
God
And
don't
then,
half
like,
love you, mate. He fucking don't half. He's good,
yeah,
good God.
people just cherry pick what they want out of you know
Exactly.
it's and then they can't answer it, and it's, you know
Yeah, that's the thing. They can't answer it because what you said to them, they know that they're living in it's like a delusion. That they're
yeah,
delusional. They're living in a where they're trying to block out the truth and
yeah,
replace it with whatever they can think of, and then they're like, no, no, that's not. No, no, this happened, this and this. It's like you proved. I've just proved you wrong.
this
No, 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 you fucking didn't. It's like
this
stuff like
doesn't
that.
compute, this doesn't compute, error, like robots. you know
Exactly, but you know
to
what I
say
think
not
they should
that
do?
all of them, not to say that all of them are like that. There's some good ones. There's some cool ones. There's some cool ones that I know. You know, and and I have some friends that are Christian. We just don't
Oh no, I'm
discuss
not saying all Christians are bad. I mean, it depends on the person, really, because
exactly.
my friend,
Like
um,
bad. There's bad everybody.
I
Just
mean,
like anything.
my friend who I'm working on my banned with, like I told you, by that song that I've been recently working on. My friend's religious. I think he's Christian. What he said, I forget now. I don't want to like say he's something and then I'm wrong, but I know he's religious. And he listens to loads of metal, but he won't listen to like bands that are like, I don't know, that have pentagrams on their stuff, or they have like upside down crucifixes, like inverted stuff like that. He won't,
well, it's gonna be like majority of black metal.
Yeah, majority of black metal, but
and death
he's not
metal,
ignorant.
Death metal.
He's not ignorant, because when I say to him stuff about me, like that would be against religion, like his religious beliefs, he's not bothered. He just says to me, all right then, what, each to their own. And that's what I like about him, because he's religious. And it's people like him that are saving like religious community. Them are the sort of people that make it look better, because at least they're keeping themselves to themselves and they're not bothered and they're not nagging at you. And I have a good friendship with them, and like I said, we're working on a song at the moment, and it's all good. But there are some out there that are utter ignorant dickheads, and they want to force their beliefs on everyone else, and they won't listen to their opinion. They're like, fucking listen to me. I'm the leader. I'm the authority of you. I control you. Fucking do what I say now. Fucking believe this, And it's like that, but it shouldn't be like that. It's like, at least listen to my side. At least hear what we have to say. And then when they try to make it look like they're not obviously paying attention, because like they don't answer what you're talking about, and then they change the subject. It's like, the weather's good today. Go on.
I don't know if you've seen Dark Matter, but his videos, but he does a lot of really good stuff. But anyways, basically, he's done a couple things. He basically did like a video. He did one video. He does animation and stuff like that. To try to put about religion and whatnot. But it's kind of like he basically made the analogy of like trying to sell a used car. You get a flyer and it's a really good deal on an awesome car. Let's say a Lamborghini Diablo. 2013, 2014, and it's like, it's like $200 or something, like straight up $200, like an insane deal on an expensive car, so it's like goes there, says, oh, hey, well, can I see the car? The guy's like, oh, you have to believe in the car in order to see it.
Yeah, I think you told me about this before, and I quite find that interesting, because how do you know? You got to fucking see it first, don't you?
And then he also did another video to where he basically reversed the roles, where like basically, like an atheist went to go knock on Christians' doors, and tried to give them pamphlets on atheism and stuff like that, just to try to prove the point, to what, different. But, some really good stuff. All right. Anyways, this has been probably more than enough time for the show. Let's go and end it here on this awesome second episode. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for listening.
See you later, guys. Have a nice day.
We're out.